you don't know this guy. He lives in the fucking mountains. I gotta hike it to get in here to his fucking house.
Uh,
I don't know if you noticed, man. There's a fuck ton of snow outside.
Can you say something so we see if we hear you now?
hello, hello, hello.
Nothing.
No.
Testicles 1 2. Testicles 1 2.
Yeah.
So gifted and fine, but I don't like to know. Check 1 2. Check
No.
1 2.
Damn it.
Should I go out and then come back in?
Yeah, all right.
All right.
Nice.
All right. We'll just do full screen. Welcome to the Aboriginal Outlaws podcast. We're doing a Zoom session. I'm Joshua.
I'm Johnny B.
And we're here with Jacqueline Buffalo, all the way from, where are you coming in from tonight?
Alberta.
Alberta.
Alberta. Wow.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's far. So it's cold there as well?
It's actually really nice here. I think it was +2 today.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Nice. We had like
Gorgeous weather.
Yeah? That's great.
Mm-hmm.
So we have you on here. You're an Indigenous model. Tell us a little bit about your background.
Well, I'm an Indigenous model. I've done some acting. I'm an entrepreneur. I own my own business. And within that business, I do permanent makeup, Reiki, teeth whitening, and a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah. All the things?
And then I also do TikToks.
Nice.
Awesome.
Well, our pal who couldn't be here, Will Bear, he found you on, I believe, Instagram and probably TikTok.
Yeah.
I'm sure he was sending you creepy things. It's not good. He's not here, so we can say whatever.
Sorry, I'm used to it.
I bet you are. We'll get to those questions. All right. That's a lot of things. Let's start out. What brought you to being such an entrepreneur with all those different side hustles going on?
Well, it started off with I really didn't like my 9-to-5 job. I freaking hated it. I didn't like working for people who were, I guess, thought that they were better than me or knew better, or just I don't think they liked me. And then I thought, well, okay, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to have to do it. Go big or go home, right? So I got some training, and I started off with just basic makeup. And then I did wedding makeup, and then it turned into permanent makeup. And then after that, I started doing the modeling, doing my own makeup. And then it's kind of stumbled into doing motivational speeches and doing the model boot camp, where I teach these young models how to walk, how to do their makeup, how to show up professionally, and just go out there and give it all your confidence, and just create that empowering piece to it for the youth.
That's pretty awesome. What is permanent makeup?
So it's tattoos.
Okay. So is that like the microblade? So are they like tattoos,
Yeah.
like lips on?
Yes.
So what kind of work should we do to our friend here?
I definitely do some brows.
Yeah, he is brown.
Lift the face a little.
Yeah. I could use it. I could use it a little bit.
Yeah. Some eyebrows? Can he be permanently surprised?
Yeah, I could do that.
So where'd you grow up? You're in Alberta? You from Alberta or?
Yeah, I was born and raised in Musqueam. I don't know if you've heard of it before. It used to be called Hobima.
Okay.
And we had a pretty bad rep back then, but we've changed it. We went back to our cultural and sacred ways and changed it to Musqueam, and now we're just living up to our name.
Right. What's Moscow cheese mean?
Bear Hills.
Bear Hills.
Pretty sure all reservations have a bad rep too.
I think so. I think
ours isn't any better.
we were on one of the top 10 worst or not safe places to live or something like that. I think that was back in 2005, maybe. I don't know. I can't remember. But we were on a top 10 list, and then everybody was like, "No, that's not us." And we just kind of switched everything around. We were only like that because we had a lot of oil money. Yeah. And then a lot of that oil money turned into like drugs and alcohol and abuse and stuff like that. And then the media kind of just painted us in this really bad way. And we just stepped up and said, no, we're more than that. We're a nation, you know, this is where our cultural and our roots come from. And yeah, we just made it our own.
Yeah.
We didn't let anybody paint the picture.
Awesome. Yeah, they try real hard to keep us all down, don't they?
Yes.
So what's your community like now? What's it like growing up there? It sounds like you participated in this whole reawakening, reemergence, like a butterfly out of a pod.
Yeah, well, I used to like back in the day, when I was a teenager, I used to be really, really bad. I got into a lot of crap, got into a lot of fights. And but it was just that era, right? Like I didn't know any better. Everybody else was doing it.
Yeah.
And then after a while, you know, all that stuff about Hobbema being one of the worst places to live or one of the most dangerous places in Canada, I think it was. After I seen that, and kind of pretty much everybody was like, no, this is our home. Like you don't get to say what, you know, what we are and who we are. We do. So we switched that around, and we just all followed along. Like we knew our culture, we knew our roots, but what we had to do was enforce it and live by it every day. That's how we were gonna change our name and change the way people looked at us. Then that's what we had to do.
Exactly. It's always interesting to me how Canada, well, U.S. too, tried so hard to strip our culture off us, and it put us all in a hole. And the rope out is what we have left of our cultures, and if we have pieces left, we're lucky. Some people don't have that. Well,
exactly.
And out there, you're lucky that you have those pieces left to crawl out of that hole. So I always find it interesting that they tried so hard to destroy the piece that actually saves us.
Yeah, exactly. I'm pretty glad and pretty proud of where I come from. I'm actually really grateful for all the stuff that I get taught, all the knowledge and everything like that. And, you know, we're tough, we're strong people. And I think it's really awesome how we made it our own, and we didn't let anyone tell us who we are.
That is awesome.
It is awesome.
Yeah. So what's it like? So okay. So rich oil money. So that's where we got to find our wives, right?
Yeah.
Our tour out in Alberta.
Yeah, that's where we start our comedy tour, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So
I'll hook you up. I know I got a lot of aunties. I'll hook you up.
We like aunties, don't we?
We love aunties. We love aunties.
So the entrepreneurship, like, how'd you get into Reiki? You do Reiki?
Yeah. So I'm a traditional person. I practice my culture, but I didn't want to go out there and be like, I'll smudge you for like $20. You know, that's not kind of what I wanted to do and what I wanted to like put out there. So I started it off as getting the level 3 Reiki training. And in that training, I realized it's a lot like how our culture is. And so I kind of incorporated the Reiki and my own culture with, you know, just healing people, healing their energy and clearing it, making sure that, you know, if you're on the right path, if you're not on the right path, and what you could do to help yourself. and everybody just feels so nice and light after, and it's crazy. I freak out sometimes. Like, oh my god, I did that.
What is Reiki? What is that? I don't know.
So it's actually a Japanese form of healing. So you use it with your hands, and you kind of just hold it over the place where you're trying to heal, and then you kind of just like, swipe it away. And it's actually really amazing. Pretty much everybody I've done Reiki on is like, their eyes are just open wide, and they're like, oh my god, like I never thought I could feel like that. And at first I was like, no way, like you guys are just saying that. But it's really awesome, and it's really amazing. And my instructor was like, there's something about you, like there's something different about you, and that's why I like working with Indigenous people. It's because they don't even need me, they already have it within themselves. And she's like, I like helping them because they could use me as a tool in order to like figure out the path on how you're supposed to go about everything.
Nice.
So it's like the Force.
Exactly. My little Yoda.
You a Star Wars fan?
Actually, I haven't been able to sit and watch through the whole thing.
Right.
Like my whole life, I just wouldn't be able to just sit there that long.
It's pretty boring.
I watched bits and parts of it all.
Don't let that T-shirt fool you. You can say it is pretty boring.
I only fell asleep twice.
Well, she said it helps people feel light, and I don't know if you know this, I got a little bit of a weight issue, so I'd love to feel light without actually doing any work, if that's possible.
Yeah, it's awesome. You gotta try it. You really like your spirit just lifts up. It's amazing.
See that, John? We're gonna have to fly out to Alberta and
Get Reiki'd. That sounds weird when I say it. Yeah, that sounds a little weird. Yeah. All right, we'll have to cut that one out. Yeah. Reiki me, please. That sounds a little weird too. Yeah, we might have to cut that one out too.
I've noticed like the Indigenous modeling is becoming a big thing. I have a friend who's a model. We would be models if we were sexier, but we're not. Mm-hmm. So we just bring models on.
Yeah.
Make it a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think everybody has the power to do whatever they feel like it. Like, I mean, honestly, the fashion industry has come such a long way since, we were younger, and it's not all about, the twig, skinny bones model anymore. It's like, you have Indigenous people on there, and Indigenous people aren't, thin. They're just not. They're really big bones. So a lot of the times, these fashion designers create the clothes so that they're able to fit everybody, and it's not just one size.
Right. Mm-hmm. And lots of
that's what I like.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's whoever defined what beauty is anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah. I have shopped in Canada, and like the highest I can find is like a fucking extra large. And I'm like, fuck, these white people suck. You gotta find some native designers and just design anything, like clothes just 3X and above.
Alberta, if you come to Alberta, everybody's like 3X. That's why they're all gone. That's why you can only find an extra large, just because all the 3Xs are gone.
They bought them up in Alberta.
Damn Indians buying up all the big clothes.
So you have a lot of youth involvement in the modeling. How does that all work? You just have shows locally, or you said you're doing some speaking tours too. Like, are you traveling?
Yeah, I just went to Ontario actually in November. I did a speech there and did a model boot camp, and also a fashion show. That was pretty awesome. They actually like just loved everything. When I first got there, they were like, don't mind the people. Like they're a little quiet, they're shy, they're timid. Don't feel discouraged if they're not talking or they're not, engaging. But everybody was engaged. Everybody was like talking and participating. And the person who came up and told me that was like, oh my God, like, never mind what I said. It's, this is amazing. What you're doing is actually really good for them, and it's good for their confidence.
Yeah. I do think it's good for young people to see themselves represented and to see themselves elevated as beautiful and not in like just a gross way.
Yeah, I think a few of the chief came out, I believe, and a bunch of other people. I think some really important people from their community were there, and for them to see what I was doing with the youth, and then for the youth to see them there cheering them on too from the sidelines, right? It was actually pretty awesome for everyone.
Mm-hmm. Nice. So where do you want to go with all of that? Like how far do you want to take modeling? How far do you want to take traveling?
I haven't really thought about that yet. For sure, Turtle Island. I mean, I gotta make my way around Turtle Island for sure. I'm hoping and really, really hoping that that I'm creating my own brand, and that I'm making sure that the indigenous population on Turtle Island is being heard and being represented properly and how they should be. And whatever they do, it doesn't need to be only traditional. It doesn't need to be only, rap. It's like art, fashion, creating games and everything like that. Like we need to be able to make room for everyone, because we're a pretty big growing population at the moment.
Yeah.
And we shouldn't put ourselves in a box.
Exactly. Yeah. Our friend Wilber's helping with that all by himself. Like he's got 8 kids, so
Yeah. Yeah.
We gotta catch up, bud.
Yeah, they stepped outside the box probably about 6 kids ago.
You got 8 kids?
Wow.
Not me, the other outlaw, the third outlaw that couldn't
No,
make
we're normal. We only have 3 kids. We're not crazy.
We're not crazy.
How about yourself? Any little ones or?
Yeah, I got 3 kids.
Oh,
16, 13, and 6.
Okay. It's a good spread.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tough with the teenagers though.
Right? Well, how's that like in your community? Like you have your own teenagers now getting in fights and wilding, and what's that like for you?
Well, I'm so glad they're not as bad as I was. I shouldn't say that, just knock on some wood. But no, they're not as bad as I was for sure. But it's just hard. It's a different time for sure for teenagers. They don't go through the same thing we do. Like if somebody was bullying you, you couldn't just go up to them and punch them in the face or anything. It's over the internet, right? So they could just keep coming at you in all different ways, and it's pretty hard to stop it, especially if nobody understands. And there's things like that, and then being on your phone all day, being on your game all day, being in your room secluded, the pandemic. There's so many different factors into this new wave of mental health with the teenagers right now, and it's really difficult to steer through that. But for me, I just make sure that I'm always there for them and let them know that I love them every single day, and let them know that I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah, just model the good behavior and always being there for them. Well, that's a big part of one, because I don't know what it's like for you, but we were kids, a lot of times and no one was home. So. So
yeah, every now and then they're always like, Mom, why'd you post that? Because my TikToks, right? They're always like, oh, that's so cringy. I was like, I know, but it got a lot of likes, so I'll leave it.
Yeah, that's how is that navigating it? Because like I myself, I have young ones, and I work in a school, so they're always TikToking us too,
Yeah.
and looking at our TikTok. So like, that is something to navigate, right?
Yeah. I try to keep it as PG as possible, but you know, I make my content for me and people like me, and you know, if there's a little bit of swearing here or if a little bit of like adult humor there, like I'm gonna leave it. It's not like I'm like, oh my god, you know, all these kids are seeing all this stuff on the internet and losing my mind over it. But you know, they're gonna see it, and it depends on what they're seeing already. They're gonna come across it. So I'm just glad that I haven't posted anything that got them like too mad or too crazy.
I wouldn't know anything about that. I don't know if you've seen our content.
Yeah. There might be a few videos on our TikTok that are a little older.
A little questionable, yeah. Before, because I got banned at 63,000.
Wow.
Before this TikTok that I have now, and they, it was all because of some people. You know, I was just trying to educate them, right, and say, you know, like natives went to residential schools, and you know, there's a lot of PTSD and all of this stuff. And then all of a sudden there was like 10, I'm going to say Caucasian people or somebody were just coming at me, reporting all my videos. And then I got banned. And I was like, what? Like, oh my God, like I can't believe that happened. And I couldn't appeal it. So I had to start new, and I'm at 47,000 now. So
wow.
Almost back to where I was.
Nice.
Still, that doesn't seem fair. Like, how do we do that to other people? Like,
what?
How do we do that to people now? I got 10 friends.
Well, they were reporting stuff that I was posting, and when you report it, it gives you an option. Like, is this not safe for children, or is this, you know? So I have to be really, really, really careful on what I post now, because like even one of my videos got posted if I'm in the passenger seat and I'm recording, and the way it is it's flipped, right? So it looks like I'm driving, recording, doing my TikTok, so I get reported for safety issues.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's crazy. So you have to be really careful on what you post. A lot of people can get away with stuff. I know I can't. I get reported like crazy.
That sounds like people are after you.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a lot of people I don't even know. Like it's crazy. I think I might have said something, or maybe turned somebody down, or
really?
I don't know what it was.
Oh really? Do you get weirdos?
Oh yeah, all the time.
Oh yeah, what are your top weirdos?
So the one that just keeps coming to mind probably would be I was on the live on TikTok, and this is when my friend was 17. He was almost 18, and he was on the live with me, sharing the live, and this person popped up and wanted to go live with us. So I was like, okay, and I clicked it, and I moved off the way from the camera, and I said, you know, talk to this person, and I was telling him to talk to him, and it was this guy. I swear, he was like had the camera like right here, like he was wearing boxers, but he had the camera right here, and he was just like, and we're like, what the fuck? Both of us, and I was like, I'm so sorry. Like, I'm so sorry. I didn't know it was gonna happen. And it's crazy. Like I don't go live with people that I don't know anymore, but you know.
It seems wise.
That's like the same as getting in cars with strangers. Come on.
I know. Well, everybody was doing it, right? Everybody was going live with other people.
Yeah.
And to me, right, like the majority of the people are probably on my TikTok, or you know, a bunch of creeps probably, not regular people.
I mean, God did it, so yeah.
Mine is Aboriginal Outlaws, right?
Yeah, we're not creeps. Well, 2 out of 3 are.
Yeah.
It's so crazy though, because like you know, there's just so many things. I had this guy he was on my live and he was having all these like little messages pop up, and he's like, my girlfriend's not gonna like you because we're talking. And I was like, what? And I was like looking through what he was saying, and he was like saying like, oh, I love you, you're so beautiful, and all this stuff. And he's like, my girlfriend's not gonna like it that I like you this much. And I was like, what the fuck? And then after I got off my live, some girl messaged me and was like, you know, just getting all. I was like, oh my God, like, I don't even know this guy. I didn't even give him the time of day. And people are just crazy and wild on the internet. But this was like, you know, when the pandemic first started.
Right.
So I understand why they're crazy.
That's crazy. It made all the crazy go out. What was that?
Yeah.
Like? What was that like in your community? Like in our community, you know, we're at each other's throats till something like that happens, and then we're doing all right, and the outside, all the white people are all suffering because they don't know how to work together. Is there anything like that out there?
Yeah, it's pretty much the same. I mean, everybody, it's like a household, you know, like you have your brothers and sisters and you fight, but like you still gotta live here. You still gotta be neighbors. So there's no point in, you know, taking it out forever and then, you know, holding that grudge. Some people do, but it's like, there's no point. Like, you guys are neighbors. You're going to see each other at the gas bar. So.
So you have gas stations there too, huh?
Yeah, it's actually pretty well developed. Well, I mean, for a res.
Right.
Yeah. For a res.
That could be anything.
Like we have a 3-story band office in Samson, and you know there's paved roads and pretty much new houses and duplexes and stuff like that around here, and grocery store. There's a lot around here. Right on.
Is the band council the nicest building though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds strangely like a certain tribal building.
You should, yeah.
Fucking 4-story, 5-story
class, millions of dollars.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, it's actually really like some buildings are kind of old, but you know we still got a lot of newer buildings too. Just like our houses have a lot of old houses, and just finally getting some new ones. We had to like we're growing population. Right?
Yeah, that's awesome. That sounds really nice. It sounds like really good and growing and positive out there.
Yeah, I think it's going pretty good.
Yeah. What do you guys do for fun?
I can't speak for everyone else, but for me, it's like going to the fashion shows and doing the acting and modeling that I do. You know, before I used to be really, you know, go out every weekend. And just, you know, I deserved it, you know, kind of beer. But I've been sober for about 1.5 years now.
Nice.
Yeah, and it really made me kind of look at myself. Like, it's really hard in the beginning to like have to deal with your problems sober and with like a sober mindset. It's crazy. Like, you wouldn't believe how different it is. I don't want to say difficult because, you know, there's days where I thought it was difficult, but I got over it. I was like, how did I just, you know, have all these emotions this whole time and just sweep them under the rug and then go out and then come back and be all hungover and feeling like crap, right? And then still have to deal with it.
Right. Those problems don't go away, right?
Yeah.
You just find more and more rugs to sweep them under.
They come back with chlamydia.
Yeah.
I've been sober since 2017.
Nice. Just right before the pandemic?
Yeah.
The pandemic turned me into an alcoholic. Well, we me and my husband, we couldn't go to the bars or we couldn't really do anything, right? So, and our reserve was on lockdown. Like nobody can come in, and if you left, you have to make sure that you were back by like a certain time.
Wow.
The bars weren't open, so me and my husband would kind of just sit around, just me and him, and I'd go live and drink some beers and get silly on live, and we just kept doing that over and over again. And then after a point, it was like we needed more and more to like not to be the buzz that you needed. And I was like, yeah, this is getting kind of out of hand. We're not having fun anymore. We're like, just trying to drink our right?
Medicating at this point, right?
In the beginning, it was fun.
Yeah.
Just start yelling at everybody over your live video.
Do you find that as you get sober and ultra dish, you find that there's a growing awareness of mental health and a lingo with it, and like I don't know, it kind of spreads out around you?
Yeah, absolutely. Like when I got sober, it was really hard for me in the beginning because I was like, well, I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. I don't know who to talk to anymore because everybody who I used to talk to drank or wanted to drink. And then after a while, those sober people and those traditional people find you. And it was crazy because I got invited to a lot more, sweats and ceremonies and all this other stuff. And it just was kind of like, almost like it was waiting for me to be sober and to live that life. Because when I was younger, I used to go to ceremonies and sweats all the time. And it was almost like I just kind of picked up where I left off, which was really nice. I know a lot of people doesn't happen that way, but for me it did. And I'm pretty thankful that I was able to have those people around me. And I found a pretty good group of sober friends and sober aunties. We would just go be wild and crazy, and we didn't need alcohol. So it was pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's interesting how all your circles change when you quit drinking.
Yes.
I had a question and my mind just went blank. Oh yeah. Hey, how do you get 48,000 TikTok followers?
First of all, I think it has a lot to do with the algorithm.
I've been hearing that a lot lately. I don't think any of us know what an algorithm is.
So the algorithm is kind of crappy right now. I don't know if it's because people are like back at work and not watching TikTok as much right now or posting, but I know I try and leave like my captions to a minimal that way, because when you like start hashtagging stuff, it only goes to that group of people who you hashtag, right? But if it's like less, or if it's blank, pretty much, sometimes I just put like a laughing face, and that's going to tell the algorithm, okay, whoever wants to laugh should see this. And I think that's how it works. That's how it's kind of been working for me. And I also keep it to like a 10 seconds, anywhere from 8 to 10, 15 seconds. Like people are going to scroll. They're not going to sit there and, educate themselves, or, I mean, unless it's a pretty good topic and the reason why they're on TikTok. But for me, it's, I like to do the comedy. I like to make people laugh, and I like to, just make sure that people, well, it was a pretty crappy time during the pandemic. So it was a way for me to connect with people.
Yeah, that's why I do notice, and I like that TikTok, Instagram, even with other downsides, they seem to draw like all Native people from all over together, and we get to like throw all our humor in a basket and throw all our different things we do for healing or our different traditions in a basket, and we can we can relate on a level that you don't relate to other people.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that's what's going to be, that's our future. Like, that's what our kids are learning from. And that's what we need to be able to say, like, this is who we are. And, you know, no one can paint us in any light except for us. And I really believe that's kind of happening right now, is that a lot of people thought, oh, well, do the natives still live in the teepees? And, you know, it's pretty crazy what a lot of people don't know about us.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm glad there's a lot of like content creators out there who have the patience to sit there and educate people. Like, sometimes I don't, but I try my best.
I don't think we educate anybody, honestly. Do we?
I did a couple of videos that were educational.
Okay. I don't think I have.
We educate them, but we tell them lies.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm like, watch me turn into a bird. We can all do that. And we talk to raccoons.
Mm-hmm.
I just did a lie to TikTok a few minutes ago.
Oh yeah.
I said every time or a baby eagle dies, every time a native man gets a fade and doesn't grow out his hair.
That's a good one. You were probably TikToking us screwing around with the audio video. Like, look at these idiot Mohawks. They can't figure their shit out.
Fucking useless.
Yeah, it's on live.
Those are the Indians that still live in teepees right there.
So what do you have coming up for big things this year?
I'm gonna be. Last year I did a youth gathering event, and I'm hoping to do that again this year. I just need to get all my stuff in order and make sure that, because I'm kind of a perfectionist when it comes to things like that for the events that I do. And last year we actually had Dogface come out to our res, and it was so funny because like I made this poster and I didn't think it was going to be anything that big.
Mm-hmm.
I just kind of wanted something for my youth and here in my community. And all of a sudden he messages me and was like, you know, like, I'll come out, like, if you got, you know, the funds, I'll come out. So I was like, what? Like, is this real life? So he came out to my community and everybody loved him. Like, it was awesome. He's such a great dude. He's pretty quiet. I thought he would talk more, but he was pretty quiet that whole time.
Well, we'll definitely come out. So,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
With our dozens of followers, you know.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
All right. We're not gonna keep you too late, but like, what's one thing you'd want to share with, you know, all the people that listen here or watch us on YouTube and might be interested in your work or your community? What can we do to support you and support your community and like build those bridges?
Well, first of all, I do the model boot camp, the motivational speeches, and the fashion shows. I really believe that it's something that, especially our women, it's not only for the women, but especially our women need to hear and build that confidence and that foundation to prepare themselves, like, for the future, so that, you know, you can't always be this shy little res girl. And that's how I was growing up. And that's where I started. I started out on a little fashion show in my res, and it took me just that little fashion show to break through and start modeling kind of all over.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We find you on Instagram at Jacqueline Buffalo. Where else can we find you? I know TikTok. You just said
TikTok, Jacqueline Buffalo. I also have a Facebook page, Jacqueline Buffalo.
Right on. You ever notice how we use Facebook so much, like Native people?
Yeah, I use Facebook for everything.
Right. I don't know how to end it up like that. What do you think?
Like, everybody always like tries to do like a Zoom like this on Facebook, and I'm like, let's do a Zoom and not a Facebook.
Yeah. Well, we try to do it all fancy. We have like this program that has graphics, but as you can see, it's we need to work the bugs out of the system.
Yeah, no worries. Technology is technology.
Right. Well, we thank you for joining us and coming all the way out here to the Great St. Lawrence River, where it's snowing and ice.
It's freezing out.
It's freezing out. And,
all right, thank you.
Yes, yes. And we'll let you know. We'll put this out next Thursday.
Yeah.
This will be out next Thursday?
Yeah. No,
awesome.
I to make it it'll be a little different from our other ones because we did the whole Zoom recording.
I was like, I hope they weren't recording when you were telling me, can you hear me now? Or
it was. I got a 10-minute video of me just staring at just looking in the camera like, what?
Just lips moving.
Just me hitting buttons.
I was singing. I was saying all this crazy stuff.
Just racist as heck.
Just slamming white people left and right. We're terrible. We are terrible.
Well, we thank you for hanging out.
I hope they're not recording.
Right? Just cussing, just saying all the words. Oh, check that recording now. Maybe it picked it up on the recording. I hope it didn't. All right.
All right.
You have yourself a good night.
All right. Peace out.
See you later.
You're not just fucking crazy good looking, man. You're a fucking amazing person.